For a man in a divorce and a custody situation, he is going to encounter an entire business of greedy, careless, blood-sucking people that are profiting off of his tragedy. And this is something that is impossible not to see. This is going to happen at any level, whether you're going through a major tragedy or it is just a major inconvenience in your life at the moment. Divorce and custody has a whole business behind it. Now, we all know about this, we all hear about it, and we can educate ourselves on it, but I want to talk about this today because of a message that I got. Now, in this message that I got on TikTok, I do not want to throw this person under the bus. I get the pain, I've been in the pain, and I want to let you know just how deep and nasty this business goes and how what we need to do as men to win our cases, as well as what we need to do as men to move forward and change things. So this gentleman says, look here, I want to talk to you, but everyone around me, including yourself, it appears wants to make money off of my problem. I'm asking, are you, I believe, able to talk before I invest in you? I spent $275,000. I'm pretty successful, but now I'm faced with another issue. This is my phone number. Now, once again, this is not anything that I'm trying to diss on this person. This is a horrible situation that men are put in. Men are put in a position where they lose everything. Not only are they emotionally and mentally losing, perhaps for the first time in a long time this is happening, but also they're losing financially. You have to find a lawyer. There's not many resources to find a lawyer. It's almost as if there are many lawyers who sound good, are willing to sell you, and do nothing and are tremendously lazy. And to distinguish, first off, if you need a lawyer or not can be very difficult, and what you need a lawyer for, and then to find a good lawyer that's going to work for you and your exact situation is even harder. All in the time where you can't see your kids, you might be being falsely accused, and there's so much out there. Now, here's one of the things. When we talk about divorce as a business, we need to be careful with this as well. Undoubtedly, it's a business. We've all seen the documentary or the different videos that break this down about how everybody profits off of our bad situation. But that being said, one of the consistent factors that I see with men losing their cases are people who get caught up in the victim mentality of that this is a business. It is absolutely a business. It is a hard game. The cards are stacked against you in varying ways depending on where you live and what your situation is. So what that tells me is rather than say it's an impossible game and buy into a bunch of other people's narratives that it's impossible, and just to put things in perspective in this, if you know my story in 2007, and even before that, I tragically lost. I lost the impossible game. I had every reason to say it was impossible. I was put in jail. I served a sentence, a full sentence, and it wasn't 8 years that I was incarcerated. It was only a few days, but there was community service. There was a long period of probation and just horrible reporting to people and all this sort of stuff. I did that for 8 years, all so that it would be reversed. I get the impossible game, but in that impossible game, I got put into the court system and I realized how it worked. And this is what I'm trying to tell you to do, that if you have any reason in your mind to give up and say that this is impossible, it's too easy to take. It's so easy to just jump to that and say it doesn't work, and there's countless examples of that. However, what's interesting is we always say it's science, it's facts, this is the concrete thing that I need as a man to logically process all of this in the best way. If there are people that have beat it, including myself who came back to beat it, if there are people who were able to have the same or similar situations as mine and many times worse and learned how to beat it, then it is not impossible. It means I'm doing something wrong. Now let's get to this. There's tons of misinformation. There's horrible information out there about divorce and custody that is for men to buy into. The red pill being one of them, and probably one of the biggest culprits. Everything in the manosphere, everything that I've seen in fathers' rights with are there exceptions? I really don't know. But here's what I see. I see people saying that it's impossible to win, and your answer in this is to get angry and protest and make videos and comments about it. Whereas the law actually changes in a very, very different way. If we're going to change the laws, there's a couple things we need to do. We need to, one, win our cases as men so that we change the courts, and we learn that by learning the language of the courts and how to do that and all that sort of stuff. But then also it would be to take the formal approach of changing law, which is mean we have to go and lobby and hire lobbyists and get the right people to represent us instead of all this just dramatic stuff that's super reactive. The light keeps changing during this video, and that's one of the problems when you're using natural light. So then let's get to my role in all of this. I want to just put this out there. So what is my role in this? I have a business. I profit off of it. And let me just be clear about all of this, because I get a lot of messages like this, and I really don't blame the guys, but it's also really frustrating when you work 50 or 60 hours a week, every week for 18 years on subjects around male pain. And I've literally delivered my entire life to this. When it comes down to my divorce and custody branch of my business, which is the most dominant right now in terms of my time, meaning that it has the most amount of calls, the most amount of time that I spend with my clients, and I would say the most amount of results. This light change is getting things really anticlimactic. I will do auto ISO. So when it comes down to the most dominant thing in terms of time in my business, in 2023, I made just over $8,000 in profit on my entire programs in divorce and custody. Now, you might sit there and go, that seems really unsuccessful. But the reality of it is that the other services within my whole business, which has to do with a whole bunch of stuff, this could be men's PTSD, addiction, it could have issues to do with sex and dating, and all the different huge plagues that we have with modern masculinity, which I think are important for everybody to know about, especially for entering into this plague of modern masculinity, that carried the groups. Now, in that, yes, I expect to profit more than $8,000 in 2024 on my divorce and custody services. But let me just tell you what was given in those services that I gave to hundreds of men on this who it helped. It changed their lives, and it saved a lot of their cases. It dug them out of holes that they got into from listening to bad information online. It got them reunited with their kids. It protected them from making huge mistakes. It taught them how to use the laws and lawyers in their states. And more importantly from that, we held their hand. I held their hand, as well as other members of this group, the entire process, meaning that minimum, they got access to 32 hours of group calls a week, as well as a 24/7 support network that literally works as a 24/7 support network that will help you emotionally, mentally, and with whatever legal advice that we can give in these situations. And I guess technically we can't say legal advice, but advice around different forms to fill out, how to talk to your lawyer, how to know you're going to fire your lawyer, or whatever these different things are. That is huge. Nobody else is doing this. And this is why I think it is so toxic that we have so many people commenting about divorce and custody when this is something that you can do something about. It's just very hard. How do you file the right paperwork? What happens when you get the wrong lawyer? What happens when you're going to make the minimum 10 major mistakes that you're going to make in a divorce and custody case? How do you amend those things, fix them, and so on? This is crazy. We have a major problem, and I'm trying to tell you that, yes, I am not the most perfect person out there, but man, I am the only person doing what I'm doing, and that is sad. So when I'm asking you, and again, I'm not trying to be mad at this, when I'm asking you for $30 to give you a questionnaire that is extremely thorough, that will have me be able to read it, look over it, and formulate a conversation with you that is going to be 15 minutes, and usually it goes longer than that, but on paper it's 15 minutes. That's all I can commit to. But my last one went almost an hour. I'm asking you $30 for that. It's going to save you a ton of money. But more importantly, I'm even going to tell you that that's probably not the thing that you need. But we need to see if we work together. What you need is something like the Rising Man, which is a group where you will get so much support. Now, if you don't want that support and you just want to isolate and not talk to any men, which I get that that's a lot of people's forms of learning, we are not the group for you. But I don't know who is, and that really sucks. And I hope there is. I mean, hey, guys out there, start a business for this. It's needed big time. So with the Rising Man, currently as I'm making this video, it's $77 a month, or you can pay, like $500 or something like that for the year. which you're going to need if you like it. You know, you might want to dip your feet in the water, but if you like it, it's going to take you 6 months to 18 months to get something out of this for your divorce process, because it's long. The process is long. You're paying a very small thing for what you're going to get out of it. It is going to save you thousands of dollars. The commitment that I give is, you cannot argue that. Do you like how I run my service? Maybe, maybe not. But the guys that do enjoy the group aspect of it, the 24/7 support, the looseness of our conversations, the exploration in everything masculine, as well as getting all of the legal experience and advice that you're just not going to find anywhere else, man, they too get angry about comments like this. And again, I'm not trying to be angry. It's just like, man, I live for this thing. I, pretty much donate a lot of time towards it because it's important. Yes, I will probably profit more off of this. I offer something very unique with it. Yes, I understand that this is a crazy and horrible business that ruins men. And I want to tell you that I do everything I can to cut myself out of that nastiness. There are good aspects to this where you can do very well. And in addition to that, I didn't even talk about this, but I've made just thousands of hours of YouTube videos that help you with everything I can do for free. And some of those videos I probably need to redo, but that takes a huge amount of time. And I'm so busy live working with people. For now, that's what you have. And when I do redo the free PDF, the single man's guide to divorce, the single dad's guide to divorce and custody, and make a free video series to go along with it, that's great. But until then, you have that PDF. But until then, you also have the ability to talk to me and work with me, as well as with like 20 other guys that have been through this and had cases similar to yours. That's what I offer. I'm very proud of it. I don't know what else I can do to communicate this message to guys, and I do my best. There's only so many hours in the day. In any case, if you would like to check out my services or the different free things, or dip your feet in the water with whatever it is I do, you can look at the Direct Me link down below. Today is Wednesday as I'm recording this, February 14th, Valentine's Day. And today we will have probably 8 hours of group calls that we do tonight. It's just what we do every Wednesday. It's happened for 15 years. The Wednesday call is 15 years old. Might be 16 now. But we do good work. I hope you take that action on it. All right. Stay strong, guys. Keep moving forward. Sorry about the light changes. I think the video was clear.